Well, hello and welcome to yet another episode of the World Cup Daily Digest. And today we have with us Abhinav Mishra, Ankit Salunke, and Ankur Dua. And not just these people, we have also have had exciting matches. Namibia defeating Netherlands, New Zealand still not giving up, India defeating Australia, and much more to come. So let's start with our panels. Ankur Dua, first of all, the Punjabi cricket guy. He started his own channel. He's doing his daily content on his channel. I think today he was doing Australia versus India match analysis. And okay, he seems to be a shy person. Let's start with Abhinav. Abhinav, your thoughts about let's go with the Namibia match first because that was a big upset. These qualifiers, man, these qualifiers have been fantastic. What are your opinions on today's match? Let's start with Namibia and Netherlands first. Abhinav.
Yeah, I think it was a great win for Namibia. First of all, David Visa played a blinder of innings for them to get over the line, and they're upset because yes, they did beat the Dutch, and the Dutch were seen as one of the contenders to be making the final Group 12, final Super 12. So I think that's pretty much done for the Netherlands. They lost against Ireland as well. So congratulations to Namibia, and it's been a qu- round one of upsets. We saw Bangladesh also losing the first game, so maybe many more surprises in store ahead.
And what are your thoughts, Ankit? How do you see that match?
Yeah, I think it has been one of the interesting, as far matches are concerned. I think one of the interesting segment as of now it's going on in the tournament, and I think many upsets we have seen. It's not the first time today, but kudos to David Villa. He played one of the blinder knocks I have ever seen. I mean, because he was first playing for Africa, and now then after he started to play for Namibia. So I think it's a big achievement for him. Playing for two different countries. Maybe we can't say achievement, but kudos to him. He played brilliantly, and also credit to the captain as well. He played an handy innings of 32 or 35. So a complete team performance, but I think Netherlands should be a bit disappointed. I mean, they had a good total on the score, but couldn't able to defend. And congratulations to Namibia.
Most certainly. And Ankur, I think let's not divulge too much into it, but a quick question: your thoughts on David Weiss? His changing of his citizenship and coming to Namibia. He used to play for South Africa, a bigger nation. Usually, we see that people moving from smaller countries to bigger countries, but he is someone who has moved from South Africa to Namibia, and this is their first World T20 victory. So, how do you rate his performance? How important is David Weiss?
Yeah, exactly. It was really a great performance, scoring 60 plus, and that too in such an important match to qualify for the top 12. So his innings were really great. Like taking that experience from South Africa and now coming to Namibia, it's like it would be like a great, X factor for Namibia team.
Yes, definitely. And moving onwards from the Namibia and Netherlands, it was definitely an upset. And congratulations to Netherlands. Sorry, congratulations to Namibia. See, I'm fumbling because nobody expected Namibia to win, but yet they have toppled the odds. Yeah, so congratulations to Namibia for their first World T20 victory. And moving on to that match, let's come to India versus Australia. Another T20 match, which was supposed to be great, but it was a dull affair. Australia did not come to party as much. India dominated as we all thought. Uh, slight bit of worry that Hardik Pandya is still not bowling, and even with bat, he's not firing. I'll open the stage for you to comment on that. Let's start with you first.
We saw Rohit mentioning at the toss that he's very close to bowling, for India, but so close to the start of the tournament and he's still not bowling in the nets. I think let's not consider him as an option for Virat in this World Cup. It's better to go in with a proper five bowlers, and that's why we are seeing Virat Kohli maybe bowl a couple of overs, in these games. So I think Hardik Pandya, yes, उनका बॉलिंग करना बहुत जरूरी है बट मोर देन दैट वी आल्सो नीड हिम एज अ फिनिशर इन दिस स्क्वाड. हम हार्दिक पांड्या को हटाएंगे तो हम बोलेंगे हम शार्दुल ठाकुर को ला सकते हैं अंदर, बट हार्दिक पांड्या का इम्पैक्ट इज सो बिग दैट ही एज अ बैट्समैन कैन विन द गेम फॉर इंडिया. So I think it goes both ways. We can't drop this guy. So I think Virat Kohli bowling those two overs says it all that Hardik Pandya is not very near to bowl.
Yeah, I agree with you, but is Virat Kohli bowling that big of a concern? I mean, we all saw how much he bowls, and that one delivery, I believe, in Australia, not Australia or England, I don't remember perfectly, but there was one delivery that was going around in the world, and it was really going viral on social media, the in swinger. So is he
Yeah,
that bad
to
of a
KL
bowler?
Rahul.
No, maybe it was KL
Huh,
Rahul
KL
in
Ra-
one of the practice matches.
yeah, yeah,
Yes, you
yeah,
might be right. But that ball, I mean, we just had a discussion on the other group, World Cricket Fans. Ankur is also part of that. So many of the people believe that Virat Kohli can actually be the sixth bowler India is looking for. Do you agree with that, Ankit? Let's start with Ankit first, and we'll go to Ankur then.
Yeah, I think if you see couple of years back, I mean, MS used to, use the even the part timers very well, even in form of Raina, UV. They used to be India's fifth bowler and not even sixth bowler. They used to be India's fifth bowler. Even Kohli bowled and a couple of overs in the West Indies game. I think it was the semi-final one, and he bowled couple of overs and actually got wicket for India. I mean, they needed wicket. I think it was of Johnson Charles. So I think these are the overs you can't expect them to bowl really good, but they can be that golden arm, and I think Virat Kohli has done well. But I think it should be one of the things that should be followed for a long time. I mean, batsmen need to bowl some couple of overs, and in this shortest format of the game, if any bowler has a bad day, you need that another bowler to come in and bowl that couple of overs.
Yes, and Ankur, your take on this? Can Virat Kohli fulfill the
yeah.
place of the sixth bowler?
Yeah, he can because the advantage that he has that his arm comes over the like so like he gets a natural in swing that too with the old ball because the ball comes in with the like arm. So I think it can be advantage for Team India and this like if like we take him as a sixth bowler so we can what like he we expect that he can give us just 1 2 overs but yeah like it can also give advantage because the oppositions think that he's a part-time bowler they take charge on Virat Kohli but that in swinger that is a little deadly for the bowler, and when they try to hit, Virat Kohli gets a wicket. So that can be advantage for Team India, according to me.
Yeah, most certainly. And we were all very concerned about Bhuvneshwar Kumar being out of form. But today he has shown the old age Bhuvneshwar Kumar, the classical swing bowler who used to go economical irrespective of the pitch and conditions. And today was something that, what can we say, a deja vu moment for us. 4 overs, only 27 runs given by Bhuvneshwar Kumar. Uh, is that does that solve our problem? We were usually looking for Shardul Thakur as a replacement for Hardik Pandya, but after last match, we were all thinking, Shardul Thakur might be a replacement for Bhuvneshwar altogether. But since Bhuvi is coming back to form, can that benefit us? And any one of you can start
Uh,
first.
Yeah, I mean, Bhuvi is obviously a vital cog for Virat. For he's been a vital cog for Virat for long years now. So I think Bhuvaneshwar with with Bumrah is a deadly combination. And बस थोड़ा टाइम चाहिए रहता है मतलब इन ये प्रोफेशनल क्रिकेटर्स को खाली 2 या 3 गेम्स की देरी है वो लगातार अच्छा खेलते जाएंगे तो वो परफॉर्म करते जाएंगे जो लेवल से उनसे एक्सपेक्टेड बिकॉज दे प्ले फॉर देयर कंट्री एंड this is expected from Bhuvaneshwar. 4 overs, 27. It's a pretty good figures for Bhuvi against Australia. So I think we because Bhuvi will be playing the games. This is what we have seen from the 2 warm-up games that Bhuvaneshwar will be bowling with the new ball. So I think Bhuvaneshwar, Bumrah with 2 spinners and maybe Shardul Thakur or Mohammad Shami is going to be the bowling lineup for India.
Yeah, those are interesting thoughts. Some comments are mentioning right arm quick favorite cricketer Harshal Gibbs. If any of you don't recall, it was the
Yeah,
introduction for his under 19 World Cup days. So
right.
when players used to come and introduce themselves, this was their line, right arm quick, and his favorite figure was Harshal Gibbs. Right now, India and Harshal Gibbs are not on great term, we believe. Moving forward, Ankur, what are your thoughts on Ashwin's bowling? He went pretty economical, but he was not given much of overs. So your thoughts on Ashwin's bowling?
Yeah. Yeah, when Ashwin was actually announced in the squad, like it was really everyone was saying that he will be the X factor for Team India because the experience that he brings in the team is like truly exceptional because he's having more than 10 years of experience for the international cricket. So I think that the kind like we saw him in the first over coming and taking 2 wickets, that 2 crucial wickets of David Warner and Mitchell Marsh. So yeah, I think that the whole season, like the whole World Cup, he would be like X factor for the team India and taking a lot of wickets.
और हम बात कर रहे हैं विराट कोहली की बॉलिंग करने की, बट लेट्स नॉट कि उस पर ज्यादा ड्वेल ना करें, क्योंकि हम नहीं चाहते विराट कोहली बॉलिंग करे वर्ल्ड कप में.
Yeah,
हम
exactly.
चाहते हैं खाली
हमारे
पांच.
टॉप 5 बॉल. Yeah.
हाँ, exactly. So our bowlers need to do the work, their work on the given day. Let's hope that, let's cross our fingers that and hope that विराट कोहली की बॉलिंग ना ही है तो ही बेटर है, क्योंकि जब विराट कोहली की बॉलिंग आती है दैट मीन्स वी आर आउट ऑफ प्लान्स.
Uh,
MS
Yeah.
2019, 2016 World T20 semi-final is the best example. He didn't want to use Jadeja or Ashwin against big hitters, so that's why he brought in विराट कोहली MS. So I think विराट कोहली की बॉलिंग ना है तो ही बेटर है. हाँ, अच्छी बॉलिंग कर सकते हैं, but we want our five bowlers to do their job and get those 10 wickets.
Talking
Yeah.
about Virat Kohli bowling, there is one funny comment from creator Raman Jain. He's saying, "Hardik, तेरा खून कब खोलेगा? अब तो कोहलिया भी डालने लग गया." So clearly, a
Yeah.
big
विराट
pocket
कोहली
for
is the
Hardik Pandya.
all-rounder.
Yeah, but
विराट
I
कोहली
Yeah,
is all.
understand what you're
like
saying.
I want to say one thing. I
Yeah,
want
yeah,
to say
go
one
ahead.
thing. I think that Hardik Pandya will ball in India versus Pakistan match. I think like अपने के इन लोगों ने उसको छुपा के रखा है because like we don't know कि how is ball because उसने long time से काफी ball नहीं करा. So I think कि like batsman उसको like अभी पढ़ ना पाए, तो I think they are like keeping him a secret for like India versus Pakistan match.
Uh,
No,
बट
but
उनकी
he's not a
बॉलिंग में ऐसा
mystery
कुछ है
bowler.
क्या?
मेरे को लग
या
यार
एग्जैक्टली.
He's not a mystery
मेरे
bowler.
को लग रहा है
I, I really
because
hope that is
Dhoni
the
is a
case.
mentor, he can do anything.
Yeah, but see, in today's age, everyone has a mobile and every mobile has a camera. So even if we are keeping him as a secret, some guy or the other or some dumb guy would have spotted him during nets while bowling and would have leaked the news. But as per the news, he's not even bowling in the net, so there's definitely something going around there. I really hope what you're saying comes to fruition and comes to be the truth. But those chances are very slim.
वेरी स्लिम,
Like,
राइट.
yeah, very slim. Moving on, Sanchit Desai mentions KL Rahul and Rohit both are in prime form. Sky getting much needed match game in the middle. Hardik possibly getting some momentum with that six. I'm not sure. 1-6 is gonna change that platform. But Bhuvi in death overs is also Bhuvi in death overs, and spinners also good in the power play. I believe that was Ravi Ashwin. But anyone concerned about Varun Chakravarti going for runs against Australia? He was supposed to be our X factor, but today he was
No,
taken
I
for
don't
killings.
think. I mean,
No.
see, if you use him at the back end, I mean, he's gonna go for runs because batsmen are gonna try to hit him because they don't care at the for their wicket at the end of the over. So maybe even in the match against CSK in the final, I mean, Morgan used him in the 19th over and he went for 20 runs. Before that, he was good. I mean, comparative to his standards, he was good overall. I mean, giving 7 to 8 runs. But if you give him the 19th over, that definitely doesn't make sense because batsmen are gonna take chances. So फिर वो आर पार वाला सिचुएशन होता है फिर एंड मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम्स बैट्समैन आर इन एन मूड दे स्विंग द बैट इन अ होल वे सो मे बी चांसेस आर कि मे बी 10 में से 9 बार शॉट्स अच्छे ही मारेंगे बैट्समैन but I think Varun Chakravarti should be used in a combination of 1 over in the power play, 2 in the middle overs, and 1 in the death overs. And even in the death overs, he should ball the 18th over max to max. And before that will be even good, but not 19th or 20. For him, it will be a concern for India as well.
मेरा व्यू पॉइंट थोड़ा डिफरेंट है अंकित, सॉरी आपसे, बिकॉज आई थिंक वरुण चक्रवर्ती नीड्स टू बॉल एटलीस्ट अ कपल ऑफ ओवर्स विद द न्यू बॉल. ही इज द डेडलीस्ट व्हेन ही बॉल्स विद द न्यू बॉल, एंड उनको एंड तक बचाना इज नॉट अ गुड आइडिया. और मुझे नहीं लगता कि जो विकेट्स, जो पिचेस टर्न ऑफर नहीं करेंगी उस पे वरुण चक्रवर्ती खेलेंगे. जैसे अगर कोई पाटा विकेट मिल गई, जैसे आज जैसी कोई विकेट मिल गई उनको दूसरे किसी स्टेडियम पे, आई डोंट थिंक वरुण चक्रवर्ती विल बी द फर्स्ट चॉइस स्पिनर. हम रविचंद्रन अश्विन के साथ ही जाएंगे वैसे पिचेस पे. तो आई थिंक पिचेस विल आल्सो डिसाइड कि वो कहाँ बॉलिंग करेंगे और कौन से मोमेंट पे बॉलिंग करेंगे.
I think what you're saying, I agree with total. Just one more thing. Sanchit is mentioning that not concerned with Varun Chakravarti. To be honest, he is going to bowl two in power play and two during the death overs. So I personally believe those are the exact overs that Ashwin is supposed to bowl.
Right.
And looking at today's performance, it would be really difficult for us to drop Ashwin and pick Varun Chakravarti ahead because
Yeah.
if I'm not wrong, Varun Chakravarti did not bowl in last match, in last former game because of his injuries, and today he's bowling, he's going for runs. So quick thoughts on from any one of you, because we will be moving on from India and Australia match to another match. So any one of you wants to take this question, just take it quickly. Can we play Ashwin ahead of Varun Chakravarti?
Uh, y- you know what? With the new ball, the way we have seen the combination which is being used in the two warm-up games, I think Ravichandran Ashwin will be playing these games and he will be bowling up front. And these two wickets today of I guess Mitchell Marsh and David Warner. So I think these are two big wickets for him, and these will do wonders for him moving into the tournament. So I think Rohit knows how to use that is also a big thing. The captain needs to know how to use his bowlers. It's not like कि हम अश्विन को खिला लेते हैं बट कैसे डलवानी है वो नहीं पता हमें. रोहित शर्मा इज द काइंड ऑफ कैप्टन हु विल टेल विराट कोहली कि इसको यहाँ पर ही डलवा, मैंने यहाँ पे यूज करना है, इसका बेटर है, वो ये नई बॉल से ज्यादा अच्छी बॉलिंग कर सकता है, खत्म कर दे इसके ओवर, फर्क नहीं पड़ता. So I think more than yes, I think Ravichandran Ashwin will be playing ahead of Varun Chakravarti based on what we've seen in the warm-up game so far.
Okay, so moving on from India and Australia match today, one interesting comment from Omkar: petition to appoint Josh Butler as England's captain, and another comment from similar point of view from Cricket Talks with Garvit: petition to remove Morgan and bring in PNG captain in England, since they anyways take players from another countries. Those might be funny comments, but today Morgan gave a statement to I'm forgetting the name of the house, news house, but he particularly
Sky
mentioned that
Sports.
if he's not, yeah, I'm not sure which one, but he particularly mentioned that if he's not performing with the bat, he won't be shying away from dropping himself from the team. Uh, what can we say? That's a bold statement to make, and as we all know, he's not performing with the bat. So your thoughts, Ankit, and then Ankur.
I do think, but today captain really well. I mean, I don't know what's the result as of now, but I because 9 wickets were down, I think so. I think he captained well, but the only concern if is Livingston. I think he played today as well, so I don't think he's injured. So maybe we may not see. Maybe Morgan will give himself one more chance in the World Cup, one match, and then he may decide that he should play or not. But I think his captaincy can be handy for England. Now it's up to them because they don't have that luxury of bowlers, that they can bowl well. I mean, most of them are inexperienced, I think. But I do think that Morgan should be, be part of the 11. Even he's not in the form. Morgan should bat at 7 or 8, maybe 7. But at least his captaincy can be handy because inexperienced bowlers and again you are switching towards an inexperienced captain in form of Butler, so that may put them in a real risky position to win matches for the World Cup.
Your thoughts, Ankur?
Yeah, I want to say that like first of all it's a very bold statement that he made, but I think that the kind of Captain Morgan is from last few years we are seeing him captaining the England. So I think he can captain Team India because moving down at this situation in such a big event can be like England can lose their morale actually. So I think he should not step down as a captain. He should remain as a captain because if he bats at a lower order also, it won't mind England team. But yeah, one good knock by Captain Morgan, then he would be back in form because his class is permanent, but form is temporary.
But yeah, I definitely agree with you. That's the case with all of the class players. But we have seen him struggling throughout the second leg of IPL, and even in warm-up matches, he's not clicking that much. And it's not like he's not trying. He have come at critical situations most of the times, but still, he's not been able to perform. So that's a slight worry. And as obviously we said, that's a bold statement. Moving on, another question from creator Aman
And
Jain. He says
this
David Warner. Yeah, sorry, Abhinav, go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted it that this statement doesn't surprise me coming from Owen Morgan because this is the way ECB operates. They don't mind dropping the best players if they are not in form. They just want to get results, and that's the agenda that they have. So I think no, dropping Morgan won't be a big concern, but his captaincy is something which will be missed because we let's not forget he's a World Cup winning captain, and there are not many in his league. तो आई थिंक मोर देन मॉर्गन द बैट्समैन उनको मॉर्गन द कैप्टन की कमी महसूस होगी अगर वो ड्रॉप होते हैं तो
Yeah.
क्योंकि बैटिंग लाइनअप की जैसे अंकुर ने बात करी कि उनको कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है दे बैट टिल 11 आदिल रशीद बैट्स इन एट नंबर 11 एंड ही कैन बैट सो I think more than that, the captain is what is important to this English side after Ben Stokes and Jofra Archer being ruled out.
I
But
just
don't you
wanted to
think?
add one thing.
Yeah, yeah,
Sorry to
yeah, Ankit.
interrupt. I think if I don't think, I mean, why do England need Morgan's batting? I mean, इतना batting उनका depth है. I mean, they bat till
हाँ
7
वही
8.
बोल
I
रहे हैं.
mean, 160 तो ऐसे
Right.
ही बन जाएंगे. So captaincy
Okay.
रहने दो. Morgan should stick with the captaincy. Yeah.
But
Yeah, but
all they
वही
need
बात
is.
है ना, like
Yeah, go ahead, Ankur.
yeah, yeah, I was just saying that one good knock by captain, like making just 20, 30 runs in just 10, 12 balls, then his form will be back.
Yeah, but also replacing Morgan as a captain is not a big deal, right? So all you need is one guy who can understand the sign language, who can understand what is written on the board, and then implement on the field. But most of the time, Morgan is looking at the cap, what number is being displayed, and then he is making slight changes. So all we need is one guy who can understand the board language, and then England is good to go. Yeah, so we were taking the question from creator Aman Jain. He is asking whether David Warner or Matthew Wade for opening slot. Quick question, only one answer. Which one of you want to take?
I think David Warner only.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
Yeah, I'll go with
because
David Warner as well.
he's not in the form, but we know that he's a good player. That he'll come back for sure in World Cup T20 because we
Yeah.
have seen him performing in big matches. So I think he'll come back.
yeah, that's definitely a great answer. I think 22 minutes have passed. We can move on to our squad analysis as well. So today our first squad would be West Indies, the defending champions. And if we could get the just a minute. We are waiting for actually our graphic team to load the graphic. Yeah, this is the exact squad. Uh, where are the points? Yeah, your initial thoughts on the in the squad. Abhinav, you
Well,
can
this
start.
is a this is a star-studded West Indies squad. It can't get any better than this. And I'm not saying that just by looking at these at the squad because I've seen the past 10 games which West Indies have played in the Caribbean. They starting with the South Africa series way back, I guess 2 3 months back. They lost the series 3-2, but this is the squad which they have been using for quite a long time now. They beat Australia 4-1 in their own backyard, and they lost to Pakistan 1-0, but that series was 5 out of 4 games were completely washed out. So let's not count it much into that. So I think West Indies with these match winners is a deadly combination for them as well as the opposition because any team will like to have any one of these players and they have 11 of them. So I think West Indies is a team which will spin some surprises in this tournament.
Definitely. And Ankit, can you see that Jason Holder is in playing in reserves and not into the 11? Sorry, not into the first 15. Does that surprise you because he was performing so well in IPL, inside power play, inside there, even with the bat he was contributing. So
I
why not in
think,
15?
of course. Yeah, I think his current form was really good, but I think they have so many all rounders. Even Holder, I still think that he should be considered, but I don't think they are gonna look for him as of now because they have, I mean, 5 to 6 all rounders. I mean, if you look at their playing 11, they play with 5 to 6 all rounders, and bowlers are 2 3, and they play with all rounders more than bowlers. So I don't think Holder as of now makes it to the squad, but I do think if something happens, if something doesn't work for Pollard, I think they may look for him. But as of their batting is concerned, one thing is the workload of the players. I mean, Russell, Bravo, and Pollard. Pollard can be still handy, but I think workload of Bravo, he's good in the depth, but not as consistent as he was before. So I think maybe some concerns for West Indies, but I do think that they will do still better in Sharjah because they are now handy to that pitches. Even if you look West Indies, the grounds in West Indies are more now in the same way if, compared to Sharjah. Before there was bounce and pace in West Indies pitches, but as of now, almost the pitches are similar to Sharjah. So I hope that they will do well in Sharjah.
And your thoughts on the squad? I think you're
Yeah,
on
I
mute.
think
Yeah, so
Go
what I
ahead,
was saying
Ankur.
that Ankit rightly
Sorry.
mentioned that the ground about Dwayne Bravo's workload management. Uh, what I've seen in the last 10 T20 games for West Indies, they have done this brilliantly. They've managed the workload of each and every player very nicely. And kudos to Kyron Pollard and his support staff that they know how to use Chris Gale now. They know how to use Rain Bravo now. So I think they know how to move with these players ahead going into the tournament. So won't be surprised if they stay fit for the whole tournament.
And Ankur, can you say defending champions defend the trophy this season?
Yeah, exactly. It's really a strong squad of West Indies, starting from Evan Lewis, Fletcher, then going to Gale, Hetmeyer, Pooran. All are match winners. Pollard. After that, we have Russell. But I think mainly this time the game depends on like how how Captain Pollard uses Andre Russell, the all rounder, not just Andre Russell the bowler or Andre Russell the batsman. Because we have seen West Indies that they have been trying Andre Russell at each and every position. They tried it at the upper order, then at the middle order, then at the lower middle order. So they have tried him at each and every place, but they aren't getting the perfect place for Andre Russell. So I want to see, because I think Andre Russell will be the X factor for the West Indies team. So it's just like we have to see that how Karen Pollard and the team management plays with Karen Pollard. And I think one more key player for West Indies, that would be Roston Chase, because he's a very handy bowler. We have seen him like, yeah, he goes for runs, but yeah, I think because West Indies isn't having that kind of spin attack. They mainly have their pace attack. So I think Roston Chase will play the key role in the spin department, because today we got the news that Fabian Allen is also out now.
Yes, yes.
He got
And the funny
injured.
thing you mentioned the X factor. We have our team has made a graphic of strength, weaknesses, and X factors as well. So if you see the strengths of West Indies team as mentioned, incredible depth in the batting lineup. As we all know, they back till 11, so that is a massive advantage for them. And if you look at secondly, they have loads of T20 experience because all the players they have, they play different T20 leagues and only assemble when the World Cup is there. They very rarely play for country over the years. Only for World Cup they assemble and they come together. And lots of quality all rounders in the squad. So, do you all agree with the strengths that are mentioned here? You have to unmute and talk,
Yes, I
guys.
agree. Yeah. I agree with their strength, because the kind of power hitting and the batting depth they have is like incredible. I think no other team has this kind of batting depth, because like bowlers can also come and hit large sixes that is over 100 meters. So yeah, it's just very good for their batting depth. Yeah.
And talking about West Indies squad, today we had the update that Fabian Allen was out due to injury, and I think Akil Hussain has come inside, but that is a
Yeah,
like-to-like replacement. Anyone of you agree that Jason Holder could have made it into the 15?
No, no, no. I don't think
no,
so.
no, I have one thing for this. I think like because West Indies is having DJ Bravo, the best death bowler. Then they have Andre Russell, and then they have Kyron Pollard. So I don't think that his place it's in the 15, because if someone some of the player gets injured in these three, I think then Jason Holder can make, because bringing Jason Holder in the squad by having like these many all rounders, I think it's of no use actually.
And Akil
And
Hossain bowls with the new ball. So
Yeah.
I think three of his 4 overs he bowls in the power play. And Kyron Pollard for Trinbago Knight Riders knows how to use him. He's one of the best, new ball bowlers the CPL has ever seen. And he's consistently taken wickets for his CPL side as well. So I think Akil Hossain was a perfect replacement for Fabian Allen because West Indies are not too much worried about their batting depth. They know they can bat. They have a lot of big hitters. So I think Akil Hossain will definitely add that firepower in their bowling department.
yeah, and your thoughts, Ankit? You have been silent for so long. What are you mad at
No,
us or
I'm
something?
not silent because I have a totally different opinion. I think instead of Hossein,
Okay.
I mean they should have looked for an quality leg spinner, because leg spinners in T20 format, and we all know if you look at the ICC T20 bowling rankings, most of them are the leg spinners topping in the chart. So maybe one of the quality spinners. I mean, Junior Walsh is a good bowler. I do admire him as a bowler because he looks very decent when he bowls quick in the air. But another leg spinner could have done the job if they succeed with Hossein. I would be happy, but I think any leg spinner could have been a better option.
That's another take. And I think, as you mentioned, the leg spinner,
Uh,
Cricket Talks with Garvit has said Hayden Walsh Jr.
Yeah,
If my memory serves correct, he is a leg spinner as well, right?
right, right.
Yeah, I did mention.
Yeah. So and
Yeah, he's going
yeah,
to play
yeah,
all the games.
but
yeah, correct.
Yeah, yeah,
Go
go
ahead.
ahead.
yeah, I want to like counter him because as Akhil was saying, we have seen him in the CPL also. He has been performing really well. So I think that like if he has replaced Fabian Allen because he's a left arm option. So I think he's a left arm Akhil was saying, है ना? If I'm not wrong.
Yes, yes, yes,
Yeah, he's
yes.
a left. Yeah, he's a left arm. So I think that a left arm option can also give like a very good X factor for West Indies team. So I think it's perfectly fine replacement for West Indies.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think one more comment from Umkar that was interesting, and I also agree with this. Don't forget Obed McCoy. I'm not sure a lot of people have seen him bowling, but he's a left arm quick and he can bowl a really good back of the hand slower balls. So
Right.
that fantastic comment. And if anyone of you wants to add to that, if anyone of you have seen him bowling, please go ahead.
Uh, well, but that's the thing that they have decided that on these wickets, yes, he will be very handful on these wickets. But having another spinner is necessary for West Indies right now rather than a medium pacer with variations because Sunil Narayan, yes, he will bowl. Hayden Walsh Jr. is not a proper leg spinner. He's a wrist spinner, I would say, more than a leg spinner. So I think Akil Hussain is someone who adds that variety and variation for West Indies in this tournament with the new ball. So I think Obed McCoy ahead of Akil Hussain was is not a right choice.
Yes.
Yeah,
Omkar Acharya is saying Sunil Narin still having issues with bowling action in international cricket. Yes, that is the reason I think West Indies has not got him into even 15 or not even considering him even after player was injured and going straight out of the squad and the whole wide over, and still they are not considering him. That's surprising. But then again, it is an obvious reason. Did also just said the word quick. Why? Why I can't say quick? Let's forget about Edward Mokai. Like West Indies does. Wow, that's that's a bold statement. Cricket talks with Garbage. But coming back to West Indies, we have seen the strengths of West Indies. Now it's time to look at the weaknesses, as every team will possess some and one another. Here, our team has mentioned that lack of matches played in UAE and unfamiliar conditions to them. I think we have previously said the same thing as well, that they haven't played on slow tracks, slow pitches that are sticky, and most of the batsmen are going with the mentality is to go and hit hard and go after every ball. Lots of stroke makers in the batting who may struggle at slow and sluggish pitches, and lack of quality spin bowling options. I think we have covered that point. But other than that,
yeah.
what are your thoughts about the weaknesses that are mentioned here?
Well,
Uh,
they have their players representing many franchises in the IPL as well as the PL.
I think Abhinav is struggling with some network issues. Ankit, why don't you go ahead and take this question? Your
See, I
thoughts on
think it
weaknesses?
it still looks a decent squad, but as you mentioned that the weakness of the West Indies, maybe lack of match practice, maybe not much in UAE because I think many teams are playing in UAE because they don't play much. But I think so it's one of the common concerns for many teams. But I think they can do well in Sharjah. I mean, I'm expecting that maybe there is a slow wicket, but the way they play, I think that's the attacking brand of cricket. So teams like England and West Indies may struggle in Sharjah because just because of the attacking game, they are familiar to the pitches, but their attacking brand of cricket should be not. I won't say that they should come to the defensive one, but I think a bit conservative or can be a good option. Even 150, 160 scores, I think can be a good total for West Indies in terms of defending as well. But I think if something like 130, 140, 131, I will say that if they pitch in that 130 track, I think they may seriously they may get in one position that winning is just an outside chance for them.
And Ankur, do you think the brand of cricket that they prefer or they play, the what can we say, flamboyant cricket, and the pitches at UAE that are slowish and sluggish, the mismatch there can happen? hamper their chances in World T20?
No, I don't think so because like West Indies is a kind of team like who can chase any kind of target because the kind of batting depth they have because they are just like if they score if they score somewhat around 160 170 they have that bowling depth who can stop any team because they have Ravi Rambol he's a great bowler we have seen him bowling from like very long he has been out but yeah like he has that ability to bowl 140 and we have they have sorry Usain Thomas also. So I think they are having a like good fast bowling attack and they have Akhil Hussain who added who was added today. I think it's not that concern for West Indies team.
Around the world, I have met many people, but you are the only one who is sitting here and praising Ravi Rampal, and that was really fantastic because I don't think he has much of a supporters or loyal fan base, but I think he has found one in Ankul. Why? Man? He was playing for Punjab
Yeah.
something.
No,
Yeah,
no,
you did.
no, 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 no. No. I no
Then,
no. Actually, when I was young, I saw I have seen him bowling like the kind
When
of
you
bowler
were
he was
young,
a
you still
quality
are
bowler.
young, man.
No, in the sense, yeah, no, I mean when I was 12, 13, 12,
Okay.
13, when I started my fast bowling because I was spinner and like after seeing him, I started my fast bowling. Like the kind of in swinger and out swinger he has, I used to see him bowling, so that's why he's a good bowler, I think.
wow. I mean, when they say inspiration can come from anything, I truly
Yeah.
understand what they mean right now. Moving
Let's
on,
get
let's not pull. Yeah, let's not pull his leg too much, Ankur.
yeah.
He is a great bowler, but jokes aside, let's have a predicted 11 here. Uh, do you guys agree with the predicted 11? Lendl Simmons to open, Evan Lewis to partner him, Chris Hill to follow, Nicholas Purran at 4, Shimron Hetmar at 5, Pollard at 6, Russell at 7, Bravo at 8, Akil Hussain at 9, Hayden Walsh at 10, and Ravi Rampal 11. Do you guys agree with the 11?
Maybe at a
Yes.
certain extent, I will
No,
say just I will. Yeah, Ankur, go on.
no, you go on first, one. I'll talk
Okay, I
later on.
just want to switch the position. I want Pollard to bat ahead of Hetmar, and Hetmar can shift at 6. Even Puran can come down the order, and I will put Hetmar at 4, Pollard at 5, Puran at 6 because I haven't seen Puran playing that anchor role because he's coming and just trying to hit the ball from number first ball. So I want if he plays at 4, I want him to play that handy role of anchors as well because all most of them are one who are power hitters, so they are gonna smash from the first ball. So who will take that responsibility, to play that anchor role is important. Maybe Roston Chase can come to the 11, but the concern for them is then who will keep for them. So maybe lack of wicket keepers is also a concern for them, and that's what
Slight,
I
slight,
wanted to add.
slight, slight
I
diversion from the topic. I was just checking cricket buzz, and Sri Lanka versus Ireland match has started. And on the very first over, on the very second ball, Paul Sterling has removed Kusal Perera, and that's a huge wicket for Ireland. And this is a do or die match, I believe, for both of the teams.
Right.
So
Yes.
a great update, and these playoff, what can we say? Qualifiers have been really fantastic, and if the qualifiers are so good, this is not even real tournament. So if qualifiers are this good, I can't wait for the tournament to start. Ankur, you were saying something. Let's continue with your topic.
Yeah, actually, I want a change in the playing 11. I think that Chris Gale playing 11 would depend on the ground. I don't because I
Okay.
don't think so. Chris Gale is that like Chris Gale इतना वो नहीं कर पाते one down पे. मतलब the kind of batting he does on opening, I don't think so he can do on one down. So I think उनकी जो अपने कहते his playing would depend on the type of ground West Indies is playing.
But Ankur, Punjab was the one who started the trend to batting at 3.
Yeah, yeah. Why I was never supporting that. I was never supporting that because I think that KL Rahul, sorry. I think that Mayank Agarwal should come down and Gale should open, but because he's a man who plays freely because अगर क्या होता है लाइक 6 ओवर पावर प्ले का होता है तो अगर उसके अंदर हम गेल का यूज करने में बिकॉज बाद में क्या होता है जो सिंगल डबल्स है गेल वो नहीं कर सकते इतने वी आर सीन हिम रनिंग बट या अपने कहते हैं वो गेल का गेम है ही नहीं हिज गेम इज जस्ट hitting sixes and fours like if he plays around 20-25 balls in the power play I guess like he would have scored मतलब he has scored like 50 runs in that ball so I think his playing would depend on the type of ground they'll play.
Quick update: Shashank Sharma here. He's also a fellow YouTuber and he has an Instagram page called Topish Cricket. He initially had his first page at 25K. He was about to celebrate, but then due to some technical issues, Instagram banned his page. But right now he has made another page, so guys do check out Topish Cricket. He's present on Instagram, he's present on YouTube, and he's on Telegram as well, if I'm not wrong. And he also has another page called Super Red Kabaddi. So guys, do check him out. शशांक शर्मा बहुत अच्छा डालते हैं. You must have seen him live on our stream as well. Abhinav, any changes from any changes in 11 from your side?
No, I don't think changes for me because this is the lineup which I've seen West Indies use in the last games which we have played. And apart from one or two changes, say for example, if Chris Gayle doesn't fire, you can see Andy Fletcher if is in the squad coming in. So apart from that, I don't see many changes in this lineup here.
Okay, that is great because even I agree with all of you. Only one, so 11 would be the same. I would only change the order. As Ankit said, I would put Hetmeyer at 6 and Pollard at 5. And if possible, I mean, Nicholas Purran is the best option for them as in terms of wicket keeping because Shah at number 4, I don't believe is great. So if Nicholas Purran is firing, then good. Other than that, there are no changes from my side. So moving on from West Indies, it's time for our what can we say our favorite team, squad review of England, and let's diverge into the topic. Let's have the squad as first here. So this is the squad that at present we have the Captain Morgan. We have had long discussions about Captain Morgan, but as you can see, a very strong looking squad. I think Tom Curran is replacing Sam Curran, so that is the only
Yeah.
change coming in there for England. And what are your first impressions looking at this squad? Any one of you?
Weak bowling lineup.
Ankit? Yeah, we
I
going
think if you look at their squad, I think they are just lacking in the death bowling, and someone like I think Karan should be part of the 11 because his cutters or his variations can be really handful in these pitches. Even we saw in the game against Chennai, even it was a Chennai green wicket. I mean, in against Chennai, it was an Dubai wicket, which was totally green. He bowled well and he used his cutters really well. So if he can do well in Dubai in greeny pitches, so he can do anywhere because only three grounds are there, that is Dubai, Sharjah and Abu Dhabi. So I think he can be the death bowlers because they don't have that luxury as of now, especially in the absence of Karan and Sam Karan and Jofra Archer. So death bowling can be a concern. And Pakito, I mean, England has been one of the favorite teams in India
uh,
also. So,
definitely. And I think
yeah.
Michael Mont today tweeted that why everyone is considering India as favorite always and all the time because we have not performed. We as in India have not performed inside T20 that great. अभी उनको कौन समझाए वो अपनी धुन में रहते हैं
That
but
that's why we are number two. That's why we are
yeah,
number two. No?
exactly. And just quick update, guys. While we were talking, Sri Lanka has lost another wicket, and I think it is Dinesh Chandimal who has departed, and he has gone. He was clean bowled by Joshua, and these things are unveiling pretty hard.
But
We never
KB, I
expected
mean,
it.
I just
Yeah.
wanted to add. I
Eight
mean,
for three.
Sri Lanka versus
Sorry
Namibia.
to disturb another wicket. 8 for 3.
8 for 3. Yeah.
I
Yeah,
just
go ahead.
wanted to add. I mean, the game against Namibia, I saw one spinner. I mean, Thiksana was his name, if I'm not wrong. I mean, his action
Yeah.
was a bit similar to Ajanta Mendes, if I'm not wrong. I mean, so Sri
Yes,
Lanka
yes,
has
yes.
got two good spinners, so they should make it to the World Cup, I think.
I think there is another left-handed leg spinner, Chinaman. I'm not recalling his name, but left-arm
Sandakan.
Chinaman he pulls.
Sandakan,
Yeah,
I
Sandan.
think, yeah.
Let me just take quickly. I think Joshua Little is on hat trick ball as well, and
Hat-trick,
he
yeah.
needs one more wicket to do the hat trick. And if he takes the hat trick, this would be the first instance in World T20 that two associate nation bowlers have taken the hat trick. So let's all pray for him that he takes the hat trick.
Yeah.
Coming back to the our topic, original topic, Ankur, just a quick question for you. Do you believe that Taimal Mills has earned his place into the 15-man squad? Because I can clearly see there are few changes that could have been made. So your thoughts, Taimal Mills into the 15?
Yeah, like he has been great. I think like he deserves that because he has been giving that performance to England team. So I think he deserves the place in the squad.
Okay, but do you believe that he's there just because he goes at express pace, or are there any legit reason for him to be inside the 15?
Yeah, he balls really quick. That can be X factor for England team. But yeah, the kind of line and length also that he balls is really great actually. So I think and the performance that is he's giving, I think that's why he deserves place in the 15.
Okay. I'm finding it really hard to recall the name, but Markwood and another player looking similar to him, English
David
baseman. I
Willie,
forgot his name. Sorry.
David Willie,
No, David. I'm forgetting
Liam
Plunkett.
his name,
Plunkett,
but he. Yeah,
Liam
Liam
Plunkett.
Plunkett. Yeah, yes, Liam Plunkett. I was
Okay.
wondering why not Liam Plunkett ahead of Timon Mills, because Timon Mills over the years have been really average. One time his hype was real, but post after his RCB stint, his career went downhill only. So why not Liam Plunkett instead of Timon Mills? Any thoughts on that?
You know what? More than Liam Plunkett, I would have gone with Saqib Mahmood. I
Yes, we
re-
have that comment as
yeah.
well.
Yeah, I really like the way this man has performed in, I guess, in the past 6 7 months. He debuted for England at a stage where the England team was, going through a COVID outbreak, and he was named in the squad, and he took four, I guess, in this debut game. And that man has got pace, and he can bowl with the new ball. So I think England missed a trick there by not including Saqib Mahmood over Timel Mills. Maybe they are going in with the because David Willey is also a left-arm pacer, and that's why I was very critical of Timel Mills, being allowed to represent England over Saqib Mahmood after the lad has such good performances behind him.
I think your points are having some support from the comment section as well. Abdullah Amir saying Saqib Mahmood versus Pakistan was so overpowered, so OP.
Yeah, that game.
So yeah, that is true. Shashank Bhai saying that Liam Plunkett has not played for England in 2 years. But when was the last time Simon Mills played for England? I'm not sure, but I haven't seen him play for them a long
I think
time.
I'm not
Maybe
sure
Kambi
he
has
played
been.
a match against one day match against India. I mean, which was recently 2020 or 21. I mean, he played a match. I think so. Maybe he's back of the hand slow ones. Maybe on that basis or expressive pace. Maybe the reasons he's included in the World Cup.
If I'm
Maybe.
not wrong, I think Timel Mills plays a lot in the PSL, in the competition, and these are the grounds where those games happen as well. So I think maybe that's the reason as well, because of his experience of bowling in the PSL and in these conditions. Maybe that's why he's been included.
Uh,
I
funny,
can
funny
see one
comment from
commenter.
Sanchit Desai. He's saying if Sri Lanka loses this
Yeah.
match today, they will be coming into India's group, and imagine that being Pakistan, India, Sri Lanka, and Bangladesh there. No, not Bangladesh. I think Afghanistan there. So Asia Cup
Afghanistan,
हो
yeah.
जाएगा.
Asia
So
Cup.
these saying Afghanistan Asia Cup हो जाएगा पूरा वहाँ पे. क्या बात है.
Yeah.
Nice comment. Yeah. Coming back to the topic, looking at the squad, bowling has obviously been the issue, the glaring topic. But if you look at the squad, in the very first instant, it looks good. But there is one debate here going as well. I think Shashank Bhai mentioned Sam Billings, the place of Sam Billings. Can they squeeze in Sam Billings here? Because in my opinion, he is a too good of a player to be warming benches, even in CSK. So, sorry, even in Delhi Capitals. Initially, he was in CSK. But is there any way that they can make way for Sam Billings?
I think yeah. If he bats at number six, I think yeah, but not at three. I mean, someone had mentioned Sam Billings over Malan because Malan was the one because Joe Root की जो जगह गई थी I mean T20 से I mean Morgan recently in June he said that Root is still in the mind for the World Cup, but the way Malan was playing he was the reason Joe Root को opt करना पड़ा. I mean T20 World Cups. I mean in the T20 format itself, he stopped playing in the T20 format because he was the one who batted at number three in the 2016 World Cup, and he took 2 wickets as well as scored an half century. So Root was so good at number three, but the way Malan played after that, I think he was the reason Joe Root stopped playing. I won't say stop, but England went for Malan over Joe Root. So not instead of Malan, but I think Sam Billings can fit into the 11 if he bats at number six.
One question from Abdullah Amir. He is asking, not related to stream, but should Babar Azam and Rizwan open, or should Rizwan and Fakar open? And
No, no,
my
no.
answer, my personal point of view would be Fakar Zaman and Rizwan have to open, and
Yeah,
Babar Azam at
Right.
number three, because
Yes,
Fakar
there's
Azam,
no
sorry, yeah, Fakhar
Yeah,
Zaman has been really good for Pakistan, and their only victory against India in ICC tournaments have come because of Fakhar Zaman, and they should not forget that.
Yeah.
And it
no,
will also give
more
them a
than
mental advantage over India. Yeah, sorry,
yeah.
Abhinav, go ahead.
Yeah, no, sorry. I just wanted to add that more than Fakhar Zaman, I think Mohammad Rizwan is the key for Pakistan in this tournament because that man can play explosive innings up top with the new ball, and he's not afraid to play his shots. And Babar Azam at number three gives them that stability which Virat Kohli gives it to India. So I think Mohammad Rizwan and Fakhar Zaman also gives us that left hand right hand combination to them. And Mohammad Rizwan has to open. There's no if he's not opening, there's no use playing him because he's one of the best keepers out there currently on form and with the bat as well as with the gloves. So I think to make the most out of Mohammad Rizwan, Pakistan has to play him as an opener.
Yeah.
On that
You
note,
are right. I
Ronak
mean,
Kedia is saying Rabada has yorked out Babar Azam, and Pakistan is 30 for 1. So,
but I mean,
that's,
I do know
yeah,
that Babar Azam got out, but the way Babar Azam plays against Yorker, I mean, it's one of the impressive ways, in innovative ways, I will say. He recently, I won't say recently, maybe 1 year back, he played and shot, towards the third man. I mean, so third man cricket to
yes,
ही
yes.
अपना शो का नाम है. So basically, he played towards the third man,
Correct,
and
like
that was the
Chinchilla.
shot. Couple of times he failed, but after that, that shot was one of the best innovative shots I've seen against Yorker. So if he bats at the back end. I mean, if he plays towards the end as well, I mean, if he coming at number three, the work of him will be to more not to accelerate at the start. But if he bats after 16, I mean, something he can be one of the dangerous batsmen because he plays Yorkers really well. Yeah,
I think the shot you're mentioning, the bat, he
yeah,
slightly
yeah.
drops
He
its
drops the
slant
bat.
and ball goes to
Yeah,
third
Yeah,
man.
he,
That's one of the cricket
yeah.
show. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, but I think that not yet the innovation that has come from the tape ball cricket in Pakistan because I believe there was one or two videos circulating of him practicing
yeah,
that shot. I think it was underarm bowling at that time, but that shot is definitely uh, borrowed from the tape ball cricket. Shashank Bhai mentioning he's playing 11 for England, and it consists of Jason Roy, Butler, Liam Livingstone at number 3, Johnny Bairstow at 4, Moeen at 5, Morgan or Sam Billings at 6, Chris Wokes at 7, Tom, I think it is Tom Curran at 9, William Rashid at 9 and 10, and Wood at 11. And he's asking, do you guys feel Morgan should drop himself from the 11? Uh,
Uh,
I
oh,
think my first
no,
instance would be Johnny Bairstow at number 3, Lion Livingston
yeah.
drop, and Sam Billings coming in. And post that, do you guys think that any changes or any thoughts on this? And obviously, his
uh,
question: should Morgan drop himself?
No, I think we had a discussion at the start of the stream that
Yeah.
Morgan, we all agreed that Morgan should not drop himself because he's one of the best captains out there, and England do need that captain right now after the ruling out of Ben Stokes and Jofra Archer. So, and I agree with Shashank's 11 there, but I see Johnny Bairstow batting at number three and Liam Livingston batting at number four because I want Liam Livingston to play as many deliveries as he can. Because if that man plays 15 to 20 deliveries, he's giving you 40, 45 runs easily. And with these
Yeah.
boundaries and these grounds, I think Livingston deserves a bit more time. He's a proper top four batsman because he's done it for the Perth Scorchers, for his the vitality side for Lancashire as well. So I think Liam Livingston at four and Johnny Bairstow at three will be the only change I will see there.
On that note, this is the 11 that we have created, our team has created. And Ankit and Ankur, let's start with Ankur first. Your thoughts on the 11? Do you agree, or any changes from your side?
Yeah, I think it's a perfect playing 11 for England team because starting with Jason Roy, he's very explosive batsman. We have seen Butler also, he's very explosive. Then it's David Malan, Johnny Bairstow, Lee. It's perfectly fine because Ian Morgan finishing the innings as he's not in the form, like he's playing in the lower middle order. So I think it's a perfect squad for England.
Yeah,
Okay, and Ankit, your thoughts? Because these are the last
yeah,
5 minutes.
uh,
So anything you
yeah,
would like to say?
yeah. Looking at the
I
squad,
want to.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah, Ankur, go ahead.
Sorry,
Quickly.
sorry. Yeah, yeah. I think that Chris Jordan should play for David Willey, I guess, because. Chris Jordan gives a death bowling option to England because they are weak in it. So I think Chris Jordan should play for WBB.
Okay. Ankit, continue with your answer, sir.
Yeah, I will just make one change. Tom Curran in for David Willey because his slow ones can be. There is no variety if you look. Everyone is a fast bowler, so in the 11. So I will just bring that variety into the 11 in form of Curran. But only thing England can make it to the playoffs is they have to win the toss and ball first. I mean, because I think they can chase 190, 200 for that matter, 230 as well. But I don't think they can even defend 200. So chasing is something they can prefer over defending because they don't have that bowling unit, to give that support or that winning momentum in the playoffs. They would rather chase most of the matches because they don't have that confidence nor the bowling, to push back oppositions even for 150. So maybe they will look to chase, and that's the only mantra that may get towards the trophy.
On side note, we completely forgot about the match that is going on, warm-up match that is going on between Afghanistan and West Indies. And if you look at that scorecard, Afghanistan in 5 overs have reached or crossed the 50 mark barrier. And in initial 1 overs, I think 1 or 2 overs, they were at 30 or 25 odd runs. So Hazratullah Zazai going completely berserk here. He has gone after the West Indies bowling and he has thrashed them all over the place. But the only good news for West Indies is that Akil Hussain has bowled 1 over in that, 5 overs for 53, and the over is not completed. But Akil Hussain bowled 1 over in that, and he has given away only 2 runs. So something positive coming out of that. The very last silver lining behind the cloudy skies. I think our time is getting over. It's almost 8 p.m. Any quick thoughts from you guys for England or any other matches that you are following?
Well, I'm following Pakistan versus South Africa right now. I think it will be a great warm-up game, this one, and we want the games like we saw India and England, scores of 175, 180, and then getting chased down. This is what we were missing in the IPL, and hopefully we don't miss it in the T20 World Cup. So maybe another game like that tonight, the fans won't mind it.
And your thoughts, any closing thoughts, Ankur, from your side? You
No,
can do
I
it as
just,
well.
yeah. No, I'm also following that game. I'm seeing that Nortje and Rabada has been bowling like again very great. The kind of bowling they were doing for DC, they are now doing it for South Africa.
I think more than Rabada and Nokia because everyone is expecting them to bowl really good. Coming back of Lungi Ingidi, the 1 over that he bowled, he looked really good. So coming back of Ingidi gives them that extra boost because these two were anyway gonna bowl great. But giving that third option, the one player to back them up, is the best thing that can happen to South Africa. Your closing statement, Ankit. Any game you would like to see?
I think only concern for the group A will be it's not just group of death, but every team have one common problem, and most of them have England and West Indies have their bowling. I hope they do well as the tournament progresses on, and South Africa and another team is I think I'm not able to recall it.
Australia.
Yeah, South Africa and Australia. Australia still have a decent squad, but South Africa needs to improve in their batting department, especially the middle order. And in our group, I think New Zealand will have to deal with spin really well because if 5 to 6 teams, as mentioned, as KB you mentioned that if Bangladesh and Sri Lanka comes to our group, then I think New Zealand first jayega spin mein. So hope they do well.
Yeah. I think that was our time. That's the all time we had. And thank you for joining in. Thank you, Ankit, Ankur, and Abhinav for taking time out of your busy schedules. All of you, you have been really busy at lectures and sitting at home working from home. Uh, just kidding. But thank you for taking time out and coming here, Ankur. Uh, if you want to mention a channel, now is your time. You have started a new channel.
Yeah. Yeah. So guys, I've started a new channel called Crick Take, where I'll give you the insights by calling some special guests all around the world. I have till now I bring out like 5 international guests from Pakistan, England, New Zealand, South Africa. So like do subscribe my channel to get the regular updates. Yeah.
Yeah. And he has promised us to bring those guests onto our channel as well. We'll see when the promise is fulfilled, as you can all see.
Yeah.
But
Yes.
keeping the
Yes.
jokes aside, do go and check out his channel. He's doing great work. He's doing it all alone. So thank you guys for coming in. Thank you for joining stream. Thank you for commenting all your thoughts and We will come back tomorrow again with another two teams and another two squad reviews. Do subscribe our channel. Do press on the bell icon. Or also go and check out our page on Instagram where we are giving daily breaking news. Any content that we get, any news that we get, any updates from cricketers, or maybe their quotes, maybe their interviews, and we are doing whatever best we can. And do follow us on Facebook, Twitter. We are trying to what can I say, expand our footmarks. And this is Kausu Bhogle from Third Man Cricket Show. We'll see you soon.